So no amount of karma, no amount of negativity can drive the soul to absolute nothing. The soul cannot be destroyed. Soul is a ray of God. And therefore, you have no other choice. You may wander in the world driven by karmas, but ultimately you are moving towards God. The Godward pull is exerting itself on all souls. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita in chapter 4, known as Karma Yoga, verse number 36, which I am reiterating because of its importance. Api chedasi papevya sarvevya papakrittama sarvam jnanaplavenaiva vrijanam santarishyasi. Even if you were the greatest of all sinners, you could cross over all sins by adopting the boat of wisdom on a spiritual path. Deep down in your heart, there must develop faith-based insight that no matter whatever you might have been in your past, and no matter how many negative karmas you might have done, you are a ray of God. And God is omnipotent, but in this area his omnipotency doesn't work. He cannot discard any soul. Just to remind you of one of those humorous stories of Akbar and Birbal. Akbar was a great king in India in 16th century, about, and he has developed very charitable, but developed a big ego to be recognized by all people as God. There are some of his close associates who were jealous of Birbal. Birbal was his minister, and he was a spiritual person, constantly giving advice to Akbar in a profound way. But other associates, they were jealous. So they were plotted something that would make Akbar, king, drive away Birbal, or, according to those days, chop his head off. So they proposed, when Birbal was away in his absence, proposed to the king that why don't you be installed in all Hindu temples? Hindus don't mind because they have already many gods. One more God. And then why not be the important God, the chief God? And your name will be forever. Akbar was extremely pleased. What a great idea. By this time, Birbal came in, the wise minister, and he turned to Birbal and said, what do you think of this? Such a wonderful idea has come that I should be installed as a god, as a deity in all the Hindu temples. Because those gods, you will never know whether they are really helping. I am the one who is helping all these people. And it will be a very vital movement, progress for the temples, my face being shining in every time. Akbar stayed quiet, stunned. And then Akbar asked, "What do you say?" Birbal, who had very quick thinking, he said, "They are all wrong. Associates who were jealous of Birbal, they felt happy. That's what they were waiting for, to say something to which Akbar doesn't agree. And that will bring about sword on his neck. So they were very happy. And Akbar wanted to listen. "What do you say?" Birbal said, "I say, you are not equal to God." Now, the opposite party were feeling more better extent. But all their ears were alert, just like yours. He said, "You are not God, not at all. You are greater than God." How is that possible? And Birbal said, "If anyone does anything against your wish, or any criminal, you will punish him, you will kill him, or will drive him out of your state. But God cannot drive any soul out of his domain. Think of the sun up there, kicking up a reflected sun. No matter whatever may be the state of the soul, no matter whatever type of karma the soul may be gripped by, one thing is there, you are never lost. The day you allow a little ray of faith enter your heart, immediately, just like a ray coming into a dark room, darkness begin to fly away. May not happen quick, but the moment that ray enters, no matter whatever might have been your karmas, all karmas begin to dwindle, move away, and you are led to liberation. No amount of karma, no amount of negativity can drive the soul to absolute nothing. The soul cannot be destroyed. Soul is a ray of God. And therefore, you have no other choice. You may wander in the world driven by karmas, but ultimately you are moving towards God. The Godward pull is exerting itself on all souls. And just a matter of time, matter of karmic process. But once you have adopted a spiritual path, now your movement towards God realization becomes accelerated. You want to drive away darkness from a dark room. Suppose the room is very big and you have only a little candle light. And you go on driving them away and then darkness is coming from behind you. Like, so are the karmas. Countless karmas. You remove some karma, other karmas are waiting for you. But suppose you allow a little hole in your dark room to let the sun rays in. Once that ray has entered, look around, what's happening to the darkness. No matter how, whatever may be the intensity of darkness will be dispelled. So no matter whatever may be your karma from countless lives, or karmas within this lifetime, whatever may be, that should not grip your mind. Your mind should be gripped by the amazing potentiality of your soul. If that is so, then you will not be turning to astrologers or those who read your fate for every movement. I'm not underestimating the role of astrologers. The role of astrologers is not just like a weather forecast. The weather forecast should not limit you, no matter what's the weather. If you have the inner resources and heroic movement, no matter what the weather, that is beneficial for you. No matter whatever may be the karmic result in your practical, in your daily life, good, bad, good days, miserable days, no matter whatever it may be, you are going to be led to liberation. You have within you the potentiality to exercise your self-effort. Once you start exercising your self-effort, do not be a mathematician. Looking back, many things have improved, how much more I have to improve, how much load have I cleared? No. Your self-effort should be simply focused on what should I go on doing day by day. Past and future is in divine hands. When you go to sleep, you don't think of past and future. And the world continues. Try to understand, therefore, the secret of spiritual movement is to free the mind of the worries of the past and all the imaginations for the future. Most of the imaginations are 90% lot of stress. Will I get this? Will I not get it? What will happen? And so forth. I don't have to dramatize. So even if you were the greatest of all sinners, the sin term is not simply doing negative deeds. It involves karma. Karmas that may be interpreted by you as virtue or as vice. But both are under the umbrella of sin. The virtuous karmas will drive you into a prosperous state. Sinful karmas will drive you into miserable state. The result of virtuous karma is pleasure, pleasant condition. But simply pleasant condition doesn't imply that you are going to take advantage of it. For majority of people, it is just a distraction. Even if it is dramatized in Hindu scriptures. He is a king who wanted to have long life. And he sometimes manipulated to have it. And after hundreds of years, still he found his mind thirsty for pleasure. Getting rid of papa karma, getting rid of sins imply not not to be dominated by your ego. Ego-based righteousness will grip you in the world of birth and death. Ego-based unrighteousness, of course, will grip you and push you into hell. You may say, what's the purpose of righteousness then? Ego-based righteousness is far advanced. Because when you have, your ego is involved in good karmas, you have the possibility of choice. Should I go after the result of karma in the world of time and space? Or should I seek an advanced result in the form of internal fulfillment, inner joy? Now your mind can understand the difference between sakamya and niskamya. Doing works not with an idea, with a mind set for a future result, that this is the way it will be. You are sowing mango seeds for a crop of mangoes. And if while doing that you are imagining, one day it will all be there, the mangoes will be everywhere. I give that example because there is so many mangoes here. But hardly you have cultivated the mangoes and the trees are young still and circumstances come for you to leave the place. All that you worked hard for the mango tree, etc., ends up in stress. But if you had spirit of karma yoga, I'm doing all things, that's the way God has presented situations, circumstances, and I am doing all this, God's will. I'm a servant of God. When you are doing that way, on one side you are going to get the mango crop more than you imagine. On the other side, you are not dependent upon it. Your inner satisfaction comes to you day by day. Your mind is set on expectation. Then you are not happy until your expectation is fulfilled. But when your mind has switched to a deeper type of spirituality, that I am in the hands of God, I am a ray of God, and no matter where am I, He can't reject me. I have complete hold on Him. With that understanding, all that you think, have I done the way God wanted me to do? Have I used my resources day by day? And not allow your mind to be gripped by who will come during the Christmas festivity. Will their relatives come? Will they not come? I'm just giving little samples. People don't enjoy their life. They're always thinking of, where are my sons? Where are my grandsons? Will they come? Will they write? Will they give message? What should I do to them? In the midst of all this, your touch with yourself, which is the source of immense joy. Yourself means deeper you go, God is there within your heart. You are a ray of God. And as a ray begins to look for its root, source, like the sun, so switching from Para-Dharma to Sva-Dharma. I'm just giving you a summary of what I have been told. Para-Dharma means you are just going to go on doing works, absolutely not focused on inner fulfillment. The mind has not grasped that if the heart is free from jealousy and hate, And if you have profound love for others, you feel thrilled within yourself. And that thrill is much greater than all the wealth you may accumulate outside. The message is not that you should throw away your wealth. But understand, wealth should not be your goal. Work for it, God will give you more than you imagine. But the real point is, in your heart, peace begins to develop. Divine love begins to blossom. You become not only a source of inspiration for yourself, but for people all around. Become a flower, blossoming, fragrant. Without your knowledge, without the knowledge of the flower, the fragrance goes everywhere. Goodness in you is never confined. Likewise, bitterness in you also is never confined. You eat few garlics and see everybody knows it. So, from Para-Dharma, the type of attitude towards action, when you find yourself compelled by karma to come to Sva-Dharma, you do actions that are more in harmony with you, and your mind is switching from just accomplishing the work to developing an inner sense of satisfaction. Once you have come to that, you will be inclined to doing good works, righteousness, more righteousness. Those righteous karmas will switch your mind more and more to what is beyond your ego, not under ego's domain. This is the thing, the way ego wants. Real prosperity is allow the divine in you to take over your movement. As long as you are being controlled and guided by ego, it's just like you have a big mongoose on your neck. So, if you have adopted that Sva-Dharma and then you have chosen Nishkamya, not going after the fruits of karmas, but going after purity of heart. The purity of a heart allows your ego to undergo transformation. Tamasic ego that delights in terrible deeds, that ego will not be there. Rajasic ego that delights with all the external glory, that ego is also not there. You will develop Sattvic ego that gives you great support, but does not obscure your vision. Sattvic ego is transparent. Think of something, a big rod you are holding in your hand, and the rod's upper part of the rod is very flat. So when you hold it, nothing can you see, it obstructs. Tamasic ego is like that. The Rajasic ego is little different. The big flap on the rod is not all black, but it has a lens effect. Everything that you are seeing is distorted. Sattvic ego, perfectly transparent. So even though you are holding it, it is supporting you, your vision of the reality, of the truth, is not obstructed. So as you go on developing Sattvic ego, nothing changes. But things become more and more joyous for you. Your whole personality becomes divine, saintly. Personality of a bhakta, devotee. That's the goal of life. Then you are swatantra. Then you have attained real freedom. 37th verse. Yathaidhansi samidhogni bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. Jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Just as blazing fire turns fuel into ashes, so the fire of wisdom turns all actions into ashes. Simple simile is given. You put fuel into fire. If you put a metal into fire, that won't turn into ashes. So therefore, Gita chooses this simile, a fuel, like sticks and wooden stuff, put into fire and it all blazes up. Similarly, all your karmas and all the factors that limit your soul. Because when we say karma, you must realize karma is based on vasanas, subtle desires. Subtle desires arise out of ignorance, avidya. So we speak of three granthis, avidya, kama, karma. In Kundalini Yoga, karma is focused at the navel center, kama at the heart center, and avidya between the eyebrows. That means if Kundalini were to rise and pass through all the three, then you attain liberation. That's a different language. In other words, in order to destroy karmas, your desiring mind should change. Your desire should become more and more sattvic desire. Desire to be enriched. Desire to have more devotion. Your focus should go after. I'll just point few things. How to develop bhakti, devotion. Vivek, how to develop discriminative vision. Vision that always shows to you, you are different from your body. You are distant from your body, mind, sense. Vairagya, how to keep yourself free from the pressure of objects of the world. Don't be a slave to objects. And understand all happiness based on slavery is not happiness at all. What I'm implying that majority of people have no choice. They are identified with their bodies. As such, they have developed in their mind numerous desires, numerous dreams of prosperity. But even your best of dreams is foolish. Nothing exists here. Nothing can exist permanent here. Your goal should not be something that exists in the world of time and space. Your goal has to be complete, beyond the realization of the self. Asatoma sadgamaya. This world is asat. Sat means reality. Reality is that which never changes. But everything that you grab, and the very grabbing senses within you, they are all transient. There is no truth in them. So that type of development, and therefore you develop vairagya. That even the promise of immense prosperity on this earth will not lure you to come back into next birth. Dhyana, meditation, selfless service, all these go on enriching you until you gain wisdom, direct experience of Brahman through intuitional enlightenment. And that jnana, that wisdom, breaks down all that is negative. The darkness of ignorance is removed. All karmas are described as to be burnt up. This state is described by different terms in Sanskrit. Mohanash. All delusions of your mind are destroyed. Papa mukti. Liberation from all sinful karmas. Karma dahan. Burning up all karmas. Turning all karmas to ashes. I'm saying the same thing in different ways. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate tat swayam yoga sansiddha kalena atmani vindati. There is nothing in this world as pure as wisdom. One who has perfected himself by the practice of karma yoga attains this wisdom within his very self in due course of time. Simple point is given to you. Practice of yoga. When we say karma yoga, we are referring to integral yoga. It's not just focused on actions in your physical plane. Always remember four factors within you, they are interrelated. Action, turned into karma yoga, allows your heart to develop purity of feeling. Purity of feeling is the focus for bhakti yoga, love of God. And that brings about complete focus of mind. When something is extremely tasty, mind becomes focused on it. You don't have to give instructions. How to first do tratak and do japa. You get focused automatically. So bhakti automatically brings about success in jnana, meditation. And once a mind has entered into meditative process, you go through different states of samadhi and you come to discover that you are existing beyond your body, beyond your nervous system. At all times, you are not restricted by it. And you are not confined to this body. You are the same reality that abides in all living beings. You are living through countless souls. All souls are in you. You are in all of them. That you means Brahman. This is called wisdom. One needs to perfect oneself by the practice of karma yoga. The highest attainment comes by itself. Simple point to understand that highest attainment is not like any attainment that you experience in the world of time and space. Every attainment is a form of becoming, and it is based upon thought waves of your mind. Realization of the self is being. You have to understand the difference between vritti-created reality and reality without vrittis. Very simple allegorical description. Think of screen and a cinema show. Screen is absolutely untouched by this show. Show may bring about all types of experiences, tragedy, comedy, and when you are focused on show, every moment things are changing. But while all that goes on, screen is absolutely untouched. That is, the moment the show wanes, moves away, or you understand the show is illusion, then what stays? The screen. The screen is attained by you by itself. You didn't do anything to it. It was already there. That's what it implies. You attain self-realization in a spontaneous way. You don't even have to grab it. And the sadhana for attaining it is integral yoga. Then comes the question, how long should you be doing the sadhana? Answer, in course of time. Allow your effort to move on without being pressured by time. But when you start saying, I want to rush it, I want to get it quick, you are going against your sadhana. Sadhana itself implies that you are developing a sense of surrender to God. And if you surrender to someone, a baby surrenders to the mother. And once baby is in the arms of the mother, the baby doesn't go and say, Mama, when? You are already enjoying the support. The ultimate fruition will come automatically. That sense must dawn. Otherwise, you are working for liberation just like you work for any business. I'm working so hard, I must get the result. I must get my salary. Not so. Your working for liberation, it should be a joyous experience day by day. If you are hungry and someone has given you wonderful preparations of food, very delightful, very tasty, delicious, and you started eating it. At that time, your mind doesn't ask the question, there's so many things, how long will it take for me to finish it? If that is so, that you are not really healthy, your hunger is a false hunger. You are really healthy, you enjoy it. Your mind is not gripped by when. You are enjoying it at every step. Any movement towards God realization gives you a deeper level, a deeper understanding, more enrichment. You are enjoying it. Flow on with it. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparah sanjatendriya jnanam labdhva param shantim achirena adhigacchati. One who is filled with faith, devoted to the pursuits of knowledge, and endowed with self-control, attains wisdom that gives liberation. Having attained it, he hastens to everlasting peace. Some of these points are important to go on remembering, which is the Gada Parinyaya, hammering on your mind. One who is filled with faith. Faith is the beginning of any spiritual movement. And it is natural. Faith is hidden in every heart. And as you begin to practice your sadhana, that faith is awakened. How much can it be awakened? How much can it be blossomed? That you can't imagine. Just to remind you, we always say, after faith comes virya. To the extent you have nourished your faith in a right way, inner strength will develop in you. As inner strength develops, you will not be complaining about anything. You may whisper. I'm joking. Because you have amazing strength. And it's not your strength, strength of God within you. God has handled all that has happened to you from your babyhood to now. Immense things have been done by God. And now you are becoming more aware of God's presence. Therefore, that spiritual strength becomes your basis for progress, becomes available for you. The Shraddha gives you strength. That strength allows you to follow the path in spite of adversity, prosperity. Go on enriching yourself no matter how do the situations change. And not to have a sense of frustration in your mind without pessimistic view. As inner strength develops, you come to another level of profound experience. Memories, they haunt your daily life. Your day can be wonderful if memories are of a joyous nature. But suppose you had a negative type of dream, you wake up haunted by the memory of the dream. Or it has connected you to some negative experience of the past. Even though the world around you is wonderful, you are gripped by your memory. You are struggling under the pressure of that negativity. Why does it happen? Because you lack spiritual strength. The muscles are weak. When your resistance is low, so many mosquitoes, flies go after it. More scientifically, more disease-bearing bacteria go after it. But the moment you have strong resistance, they don't. And you are able to draw nutrition from whatever you eat. That's a simple illustration. Likewise, in inner life, you develop inner strength not to fall for a sense of hopelessness, dejection, sorrow, fear, humiliation. You don't fall for that. If you fall for that, you're lacking that strength. And that is, in order to bring that strength, go after your japa, satsanga, come back to your certain rhythmic style of life. And always understand that you are connected with God. He can't leave you. So after I have described this smriti, the memory, mind will not go after negative memories that have been stored, but your mind will be fascinated by, now I have time, let me do japa. Let me taste the joy of divine love. And your mind will tell you, yes, last year when I sit here in meditation, I was enjoying. I must follow the same. So your memory is helping you in a positive way. Your own positive memory now comes to lift you up. And if that goes on happening, liberation is very near. It allows you to enter into samadhi. Samadhi, super consciousness. An experience that is beyond the realm of brain and nervous system. And ultimately it ends up, when you have that experience, your intellect now becomes intuitional intellect called prajna. Through intuitional intellect, the veil of ignorance is removed. There is no longer any separation between you and God. I am that am I. So all that is implied. One who is filled with faith, devoted to the pursuit of knowledge, prajna, and endowed with self-control, means all the practice of controlling the senses, the mind, and all the vitarkas I have talked about before. Having attained that knowledge, that wisdom is described in a figurative way in the Puranas as Jnana the Ganges that washes away all sins, comes from the matter locks of Lord Shiva. From the height of wisdom, you receive that purifying stream that washes away all the impurities and drives your soul into the ocean of enlightenment. Having attained it, he hastens to everlasting peace. And with this, I will conclude. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.